Today's October 31st, but you're probably getting this video on November 4th. The next day is going to be Election Tuesday. People are losing their mind. Everybody's going to say, oh, this person's going to win, that person's going to win. Today, I'm going to give you 25 reasons why I believe based on odds, Trump will win the election, barring a black swan event. If you value this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. So number one, newspapers. You ready? USA Today, not endorsing Kamala, they endorse Biden. LA Times, not endorsing Kamala, they endorsed Biden. Washington Post, not endorsing Kamala, they endorsed Biden. And they've been for many, many years. They said no. It's so bad that WAPO, even though they knew they were going to take a hit, to have 2.5 million paid subscribers. When Bezos came out and said, we're not endorsing Kamala, not him, the writers, the editor-in-chief, people resigned, people quit. But on top of that, 200,000 paid subscribers said, nope, we're out. We're no longer with you, WAPO. And Bezos still doubled down and said, we're doing this. 200 papers who endorsed Biden in 2020 are not endorsing Kamala. That's not a good sign. Number two, you and I get judged for who we marry, who we befriend as a CEO, who we hire. And imagine if you're about to be a CEO of the biggest company in the world called the United States of America, you're going to get judged for who you choose as your VP. Kamala Harris chose a guy named Tim Walz. Nice guy. My God, he's weird. Trump chose a guy named J.D. Vance. None of us knew about this guy. I mean, we had heard of him, but we didn't know about him. It was a Vivek, Tulsi, or blah, blah. You choose J.D. Vance? Oh, I'm not with it. I don't know about this. You see him on TV. Ooh, he's good. You see him on the debate with Tim Walz. Oh my God, he is good. You see him on Jake Tapper. He destroyed. You see him on Dana Oma. You see him on long form podcast, laughing funny. I like this guy. Trump did a better job choosing the VP than Kamala choosing Tim Walz. Not a good look. Point number three, celebrity endorsements used to matter. They're not working anymore. Taylor Swift, right after the debate, Kamala Harris, Trump. Oh my God, all her followership. This is it. The election is over with. 2 weeks later, it actually backfired. People turned against Kamala and wanted to go vote for Trump. And she lost a bunch of credibility. Beyonce, she's going to come out. It's going to be unbelievable in Houston. She's out there. Boom, it's insane. People showing up, lining up outside. She gets up there, talks for 2 to 3 minutes, leaves. Nobody is performing. People started walking out. They were not there for Kamala. They were there for a concert. I can't give you a name. Bruce Springsteen, John Legend, Beyonce, Eminem, Arnold, Jennifer Lawrence, Bad Bunny, Jennifer Lopez, Ricky Martin, Stevie Nicks, all these guys. Now go to the other side, endorsement. You ready? Bobby Kennedy, the biggest Kennedy right now, goes on the other side, endorses Trump. What? This guy's a lifelong Democrat. Tulsi Gabbard goes from being a Democrat who took out Hillary, who went after everybody, and then she becomes an independent, and then she becomes a Republican. Go to all these other guys, and then think about a guy named Elon Musk, richest man in the world. Battery, Tesla, SpaceX, doing it for 20th of a cost what NASA does. Boeing, you got people left out there? Don't worry, we'll come and take care of you. Zelensky, you're the greatest beggar in the world. As much as we don't like you, here's Starlink, you're going to be okay. I'm going to give internet to your people. All of these things he's done. And he's coming out and saying, I'm behind Trump and I'm putting money behind it. One endorsement of Elon Musk may be more valuable than all of these celebrities combined. Very, very different type of endorsement. One is just an actress, entertainer, performer, athlete talking. The other one is involved, talking policies, issues, can get deeper on issues. Very tough for the opposition. Trump got the right endorsement. She got all the celebrities. Will it work in 2024? I don't think so. Number four, Kamala took the strategy of going to mainstream media to do all these interviews. No problem. Trump goes to Joe Rogan, gets 40 million views, 3-hour interview. More views than all of Kamala's interviews combined. She goes on Call Her Daddy, which a lot of people say, well, that's a top podcast, top 3. 800,000 views. She goes on Club Shay Shay. Shannon Sharp did the most viewed interview of all time, maybe on YouTube. 70+ million views with Cat Williams. No one's ever done that before with anybody on YouTube. No one has ever done that before. She only gets 889,000 views. She's boring. People are not interested in it. Trump went to podcasters. He came to us. He went to Schultz. He went to Theo Wan. They crushed it. He went to Bloomberg. He went everywhere. She did not go everywhere. The strategy of podcasting crushed her strategy of safe softball interviews. Number five, when mainstream got desperate and they started getting scared, they no longer talk about policies. All they talked about is fear porn, fear porn, fear porn, Nazi, MSG, MSNBC. Look at this. Do you realize this is upon the anniversary of 75 years? That's what they're doing, or whatever it was that they talked about the years. It's not working. The other side is talking policies. Mainstream media went into scaring the crap out of the voter, and the voters finally pump the brakes. Listen, stop, don't do that. It's unattractive. Number 6, which is kind of weird. Republicans are leading in early voting, which rarely happens. What? Republicans early voting? When's the last time Republicans led on early voting? Not often. Over 3.1 million people across North Carolina have casted ballot between absentee and early in person. As of Tuesday, registered Republicans have a slight turnout edge over registered Democrats. 33% with remaining 32% unaffiliated. How is it 34 to 33? Republicans over Democrats? You don't see that often. Something's going on. People want to help this man win. Number 7, normally when people want to know who's the boss, if I want to make a decision, there's 2 people sitting here. If after this meeting, I call him, he's got more influence than he does. You know who tech CEOs are calling right now? They're not calling Kamala. Tim Cook is calling Trump for help. Musk is calling Trump. All these tech CEOs are calling Trump. Why are they calling Trump? Because maybe they are sitting behind scenes and saying, look, odds are Trump's going to win. And why am I going to call her? I'm going to call him because I'm going to have to do business with him in the next 30, 60, 90 days. Number 8, European stocks have dropped 7% since late September due to fear of what? Trump's tariffs. Watch this chart here. If you look at this chart, you got the gray, black, the orange, and the blue. Blue is S&P 500. It's doing fine since October of 2023. The red is Euro Stoxx 600 index. The black is the Goldman Sachs basket of European exposed stocks. Look how they're performing. Why? Because they're wondering, most likely, odds are Trump's going to get elected. Oh my God, this is not good. Sell off, sell off, sell off. Maybe Europe knows something many Americans don't yet know. Number 9, Democrats have historically had the Jewish vote, majority, and the Muslim vote, majority. Numbers are not looking good. You would assume Jews are going to be on Kamala's side, right? But watch what happened here. 2024, Harris leads Trump amongst Jewish voters overall with approximately 60% supporting Harris, over 30% for Trump, although Orthodox Jewish voters favor more towards Trump, around 66%. So you may say, well, Pat, she's beating him. Yeah, but what did it look like under Biden? You go under Biden, that 60% used to be 77% is what it used to be. It's dropped for Kamala. Why? Jewish community sitting there saying, I don't think you're for us. And now watch this. How could you get both the Jewish vote and the Muslim vote? They historically always vote Democratic. A Muslim comes out at one of the conferences, the leaders in Michigan get up, and Michigan is known for a lot of Muslims. They get up and they say, the reason why we're voting for Trump is because we think he's going to end the war in the Middle East. That's why, and they don't think Kamala will. That's pretty big. To get both the Jewish vote and a Muslim vote, Trump's doing that. Rallies. Kamala needs Beyonce to get people to show up for him. Trump, Coachella, 100,000 people show up. Madison Square Garden, sold out. People lined up. 50,000 people are outside trying to get in, doing videos and all this stuff. Knowing the man is in there. Pure audience. More people are coming up showing for him than others. Similar thing happened when Obama was going against McCain. Everybody wanted to come and hear Obama speak. Nobody was going for McCain. Kamala, who's apparently black, has been losing the black vote. Everybody's wondering, she should have gotten it because she's black, right? Jamaican, black, Indian, whatever they want to call it. Well, how is she losing the black vote? Here's numbers. 18% support Trump, up from 8% in 2020. That's an increase of 10%, and only 6% in 2016. Trump went from 6% to 18% in 8 years, 3xing his black vote, and Kamala is losing more black votes than Obama, than Clinton, than Biden, and Hillary. Possibly the worst candidate we've had in decades that is supported by the black voter. She's losing them left and right. You know what it's called when people say you're reaching, like you're trying a little bit too much, like you're trying too hard to get someone's attention? Here's Tim Walz and AOC playing Madden, acting as if they're really playing the game to relate to the average person on Twitch. They start the game. You know what the game ends score-wise? 0-0. So, which audience is on Twitch? The younger audience. Do you really think you and I can fool millions of kids that were really playing Madden? What do you think? If I went and tried to fool my kids that I'm playing a video game, my 8-year-old daughter will be, Dad, what are you doing on Roblox? That's not how you do this thing here. All it would take is an 8-year-old to realize these guys are gaslighting and pandering to them. They're not buying into this. It's actually a turnoff. And not only that, it shows a lot of desperation, not working. Merch, when it comes down to merch, whose merch are they more interested in? Kamala or Trump? You ready? Here's some data for you. From April to September, Trump branded merch on Amazon sold $140 million worth of merch. You know what she sold? $26 million. So yesterday I'm at the Yankees game. Game 5. Guess what people are wearing? I saw MAGA hats everywhere. You know how many Kamala hats I saw? I don't even know what a Kamala hat looks like, but I know what a MAGA hat looks like. So do millions. Unions, when you think about unions, who do you think about? They're going to vote for Democrats, right? Like Hoffa, we always on that side, right? That's what we are. We're for that guy. Unions are now coming out saying either we're not endorsing Kamala. And for decades, they've endorsed the candidate on the left. But not only that, Steelworkers Union in Pennsylvania endorsed Trump. Border Patrol Union endorsed Trump. How do you lose the union vote? But she's doing that. There's certain endorsements you may not want to have. Putin is one of them. You know who Putin endorsed? Kamala Harris. So when it comes on to PBD Podcast, we read a lot of articles from a lot of different platforms. So finally, I'm like, which one is this coming from? Where are their political leanings? All this stuff. So we finally hired 15 machine learning engineers. So we can format this stories coming from a publication that leans to the left, to the center, to the right. And I can program all of it using AI. Finally, we put it together called vtnews.ai. You can go use it, ask questions, the latest technology for AI we have on this news site. Now, we're running a contest to invite you to be on a podcast after the election, and here's all you need to do. Go to vtnews.ai, subscribe on either Premium or Insider, choose your brackets on whatever the state is, submit it, it'll come to us, and then obviously, if you are the winner, we will reach out to you and have you on the PBD podcast. Number 16, you know Tony Hinchcliffe joke about Puerto Rico, the gag, dumpster, all this other stuff that he said? Oh my God, he probably lost all the Latino vote. You ready for the Latino votes? Pew data indicates that about 39% of Latino voters support Trump in 2024. You know what that number was in 2020? 32%, up 7%. You know what it was in 2016? 28%, up 11%. More and more Latinos are with Trump. I'm going to combine 17 and 18 together, but here we go. I can understand a comedian getting up and calling Puerto Ricans, and offending them, right? That's a comedian. But you know who's the last person that should call supporters of Trump anything? It's the existing president. You know what Biden said? He called Trump supporters garbage. You know what ended up happening with garbage? It was the #1 trending story on Twitter for 24 hours. That is not going to work. And Trump's always going to capitalize off any crisis. What did he do? He went out there and got a garbage truck. His team got it very quickly. And he put on the garbage truck the vest that he wore, and he gave a speech with it, going on nonstop about it, because President Biden called Trump's voters garbage. Bad move. Some people on the left, including Josh Shapiro, saw it for the first time. You don't say something like this. Frank Luntz said this could be the reason why it flips. A lot of bad mistakes. This was a real big one. He's not helping Kamala. 19, the popular vote is so close. By the way, Republicans have only won the popular vote twice since 1988. You know what it's looking like right now? Harris is leading Trump by around 1 or 2 points nationally, according to averages from 538 and Real Clear Politics. This contrasts to Biden 9-point lead in October of 2020 and Clinton's 6-point lead in October of 2016. Bad for Kamala. 20, states like Virginia and New Hampshire, who are rarely close, are close. Trump could win Virginia, New Hampshire. That's not the case when you're dealing with winning those 2 states. But again, that's a byproduct of a bad, boring candidate. 21, no one in the history of politics has been a bigger troll of being able to get under the skin of their opponents than a guy named Donald Trump. Kamala claims she used to work at McDonald's. There is no proof. Even McDonald's said, we don't have it. And they wanted to come back and try to make it better. We just don't have it. It was so embarrassing that somebody photoshopped an image of a white girl who used to work at McDonald's, and they put Kamala's face on it to show that it was. And all these Democrats started saying, now we have proof, now we have proof, and now we have proof. Guess what X did? It fact checks it, and it puts it right there for you. And this is not Kamala Harris. You know what Trump does? He decides to go to McDonald's, and he wears their uniform. Can I get hired? Goes to drive-through, starts handing food over, becomes one of the biggest stories trending, gets billions and billions of views, that even to the point where the opposition, Bill Maher, all these other guys have to say, freaking A, you got to give him credit to go and do what he did with McDonald's. Basic small stuff that he's doing that the other side's just not doing. 22, Trump said, Rogan, do you want to do the interview or no? Yes. Trump flies to Austin, does a 3-hour interview, nonstop conversation, finishes it, gets on a flight, goes to Michigan. People are waiting for him for 3 hours, gives the speech, then takes off. Kamala's people, Joe, if you're willing to travel to us, we'll give you 1 hour to do the interview. Joe's like, no, you're in Texas. Why don't you stop by? Let's do something to get in. An hour is not enough to get to know you. Why don't we do it for 2 hours? Nope. Doesn't mean she's not going to do it yet. J.D. Vance did it today or yesterday. Trump's already done it. But Kamala so far has said, nope, not interested. Haven't done it. It's unattractive. These are undecided voters for Kamala to win. They're not interested. 23, there's this dinner that's called the Al Smith dinner. That's a great dinner, phenomenal dinner, right? And you go out there and presidents make fun of each other. One of my favorite ones was with Hillary Clinton 4 years ago, 8 years ago, and Trump's up there and says, you know, Hillary bumped into me earlier, and she said, pardon me. And I said, I'll think about it. Everyone starts laughing, including Hillary. Matter of fact, they may even put the clip for you to see it.
Between my opponent and me at the debate last night, we have proven that we can actually be civil to each other. In fact, just before taking the dais, Hillary accidentally bumped into me, and she very civilly said, pardon me. And I very politely replied, let me talk to you about that after I get into office.
This year, this is Kamala's chance to come. These are Catholics. Come and perform. There's a lot of Catholic voters in America. You're like, no. I'm too busy to come. I'm out there campaigning. Not as hard as Trump is. What does Trump do? Makes the time. He goes there, stands up, tells the jokes, says everything that he says, and then walks off. And he says, look, you obviously realize Catholics can vote for her. She's not here today. Obviously, he's poking and he's having fun with it. But for the person that's undecided voter that's a Catholic, guess what they say? I don't want to do this, man. But he showed up, and if she's not going to show up to something like this, is she ever going to show up to? They say she didn't show up to the border. She didn't show up to Rogan. She didn't show up to Al Smith. What else is she not going to show up to when she becomes president? Most likely a lot of things. Yeah, you know what? Probably going to vote for Trump. That's very important. Another miss. 24, Democrats chose a candidate called Kamala Harris in a non-democratic way with no primary, but it's democratic, my opinion. If there was a primary, Josh Shapiro, Pritzker, and Whitmer would have all beaten Kamala Harris in the primaries. She would have been 5th place at best. Josh Shapiro, much better candidate for the left. Newsom, much better candidate for the left. Pritzker, billionaire against a billionaire. He could use a lot of different, and he's a fighter from Chicago. Much better. All of these guys would have been better, but guess what? In a non-primary way, the Democrats, who like democracy, choose someone through the primary system that they have. They just said, it's Kamala. Everybody else, get behind her. Not attractive. And last but not least, I got a bonus still for you, but 25. There was a time people were uncomfortable to go change their registration to Republican. What if people find out? I can't have people know I'm a conservative Republican. Look at this chart here. This is from Statista. First time in 20 years. You see what's going on with Republicans? It went up from 41% to 42% to 43% to 44% to 45%, meaning more people identify as Republican than Democratic today. And it used to be Democrats at 52% in 08 under Obama, and Republicans were at 40%. They had a 12% lead, and now Republicans have a 2% lead over Democrats. What happened during COVID turned a lot of people away from Democrats to the Republican Party, and Republicans gladly welcome them. And here's a bonus one. You know what the bonus one is? I watch body language. I've been in business for a long time. I've had teams. I've licensed 60,000 insurance agents, and I'm always watching to see, is he happy? He's in a good place? Why is he seem bitter? Why is that person? I'm always watching people's body language. I'm in that business. I'm a salesperson. I'm an advisor. I'm a CEO, I'm an executive, with kids, with everybody. In 2020, when Trump was campaigning, he was not happy. He was not having fun. He came from a place of it's not fair. And those things weren't necessarily very attractive to the base. Just watch him right now. He looks like he's having the time of his life. He just looks like he's having fun. And she looks unhappy. She's at an event. And all these people are coming in, doing stuff that they're bothering at the campaign. She doesn't know how to handle it. She's rattled. She almost doesn't want to do interviews. She's uncomfortable. Trump is just in flow state right now. And when you're in flow state and you're having fun and you're in a happy place, it's attractive. People want to see you win. It's kind of what's happening right now. And I think that's the X factor, maybe more than all these other things I just talked about. Share this video with some people because it's last minute, who are undecided. Let them decide for themselves whether they're going to say, you know, it kind of makes sense. I'm going to go this direction. If you got value out of this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. If you still have questions about tariffs, and you want to say, I really still don't understand the tariffs, that's my last thing I want to figure out before I vote for anybody, click here to watch the tariffs video with Trump. You'll see why it's a very effective strategy to bring more business and money to America. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye, bye-bye.